The call came at exactly 2:17 a.m. I remember the time because I had been staring at the ceiling for hours, unable to sleep, replaying the silence of the house in my mind. When the phone lit up on my nightstand, my first instinct wasn't fear, it was irritation. Until I saw her name. The cleaner. I almost didn't answer. Who calls at that hour unless something is wrong? My chest tightened as I picked up, pressing the phone to my ear. Hello? For a moment, there was nothing. Just a faint, shaky breath on the other end. Then she whispered my name, and everything inside me went cold. I hadn't planned on hiring anyone. It was my son's idea, actually, though he didn't know it would happen like this. Before he left for his 6-week work trip, he kept insisting I shouldn't stay alone in such a big house. Said I'd only overwork myself trying to keep everything perfect. You don't have to prove anything anymore, he told me, half smiling, half serious. Just let someone help you for once. That's who he was. Always thinking about me. Always careful with his words. Like he didn't want to burden me. Even when he was the one carrying the heavier load. We weren't always close. There was a time when we barely spoke. Years filled with misunderstandings. Silence stretching longer than conversations. But something changed after he turned 25. He softened. Or maybe I did. Either way, we found our way back to each other. And now this house, it finally felt like a home again. So when he left, the silence wasn't just quiet, it was heavy. That's why, 3 days later, I called the agency. Her name was Syra. She arrived on a quiet afternoon, right when the sunlight filtered through the tall windows in the living room, casting long golden lines across the floor. I remember noticing how carefully she stepped inside, like she didn't want to disturb anything. She was younger than I expected, maybe early 30s, soft-spoken, polite, but what stood out most was her eyes. They weren't just observant, they were cautious. Not in a suspicious way, more like someone who had learned to read a room before speaking in it. You can take your time, I told her as she looked around. There's no rush. She nodded, offering a small smile. I prefer to understand the space first. That answer stuck with me. Understand the space. Most people would have said, start working, or get familiar. But she chose her words carefully. Like this wasn't just a job to her. Over the next few days, she proved it. She didn't just clean, she noticed things. The way she arranged the books on the shelf exactly how my son liked them. The way she folded the blankets in the living room, aligning them with precision I hadn't even realized mattered. She never asked too many questions, but somehow she understood the rhythm of the house, and slowly I began to trust her. It wasn't immediate. Trust never is, but it came in small moments. Like when she stayed an extra hour one evening because she noticed. I was struggling to move a heavy storage box. I hadn't asked for help. She just stepped in quietly. Or the time she brought tea without saying anything, placing it beside me as I sat staring at old photo albums. You don't have to talk, she said gently. Just don't forget to take care of yourself. There was something grounding about her presence. Not intrusive, not overly friendly, just steady. And in a house that echoed with absence, that kind of presence mattered more than I expected. Still, there were moments. Little things I couldn't quite explain. Once, I found her standing at the end of the hallway that led to my son's room. She wasn't doing anything, just standing there, staring at the closed door. When she noticed me, she quickly looked away. Sorry, she said. I thought I heard something, but the house was silent. Another time, I walked into the kitchen earlier than usual, and saw her holding my son's coffee mug, the one he refused to replace even after it chipped. She wasn't cleaning it. She was just looking at it. She set it down immediately when she saw me. I was just checking for stains, she said. I nodded, but something about the way she said it felt rehearsed. I told myself I was overthinking. After all, she had given me no real reason to doubt her. If anything, she made life easier, lighter, and maybe that's why I ignored those small moments. Because trusting her felt better than questioning her. The days passed quietly, too quietly. I started noticing how often she worked near my son's room, even though I had told her it didn't need regular cleaning while he was away. It helps keep the dust from settling, she explained once. And again, it sounded reasonable. Everything she said always sounded reasonable. Then came the evening that changed everything. It was raining. Not heavily, just a steady, soft drizzle that tapped against the windows like a quiet reminder of time passing. I had gone to bed earlier than usual, The kind of tired that isn't physical but emotional. The house felt different that night. I couldn't explain it. Just different. I remember locking my bedroom door, something I hadn't done in years. And even then, sleep didn't come easily, until the phone rang. 2:17 a.m., her name glowing on the screen. "Syra?" I said, my voice still thick with sleep. There was a pause, then a shaky inhale. "Sir, Her voice cracked. I sat up immediately, heart beginning to pound. "What is it?" "Are you okay?" Another silence. Longer this time. Too long. When she finally spoke, her voice was barely above a whisper. "I didn't mean to see it." A chill ran through me. "See what?" I thought it was just part of the room. "I didn't know." Her words were trembling now, breaking apart like something inside her was unraveling. "Syra, you're not making sense," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Where are you right now?" "In the house." My grip tightened on the phone. "In the house?" I repeated. "Why are you there at this hour?" "I came back," she said quickly. "I forgot something earlier and I didn't want to disturb you, so I used the spare key." That didn't sit right. None of this did. "Syra," I said slowly, carefully, "what did you see?" There was a sound on her end. A faint creak. Like a door moving. Her breathing grew uneven. I think you should come downstairs," she whispered. Every instinct in me screamed no. But something stronger, something heavier, pulled me out of bed. "What room are you in?" She hesitated. And that hesitation, it changed everything. "My son's room," she said. The words landed like a weight in my chest. I hadn't asked her to go in there. Not tonight. Not ever without telling me first. "Syra," I said, my voice tightening, "what is going on?" There was another creak. Louder this time. Then, her voice dropped to a terrified whisper. "He's not supposed to be back yet, is he?" My blood ran cold. "What are you talking about?" I demanded. And then I heard it. Not her voice. Not the rain. Something else. Faint. Deliberate. A sound that didn't belong in an empty house. The line went silent for a second. Then she spoke again. "Sir." A pause. A breath. And then, "I'm not alone in this room." The words didn't just echo in my ears. They settled into my chest like something heavy and immovable. "I'm not alone in this room." For a moment, I couldn't speak. Every instinct told me to hang up, to lock the door, to pretend I hadn't heard anything at all. But something stronger, something tied to years of being a father, of protecting what little I had left, forced me to move. "Syra," I said, my voice lower now, steadier than I felt. "Listen to me carefully. Don't say anything else. Just stay on the line." There was a faint sound like fabric shifting. "I can hear breathing," she whispered. My heart slammed against my ribs. I swung my legs off the bed, my bare feet hitting the cold floor. The hallway outside my room was dark. The kind of darkness that made familiar walls feel unfamiliar. "Is the door open?" I asked. "Yes," she breathed. "It was slightly open when I came in." That didn't make sense. I remembered closing it myself earlier that day. I always did. "Syra," I continued, each word deliberate, "I'm coming downstairs. Don't move. Don't turn around. Just stay where you are." "Okay." But her voice didn't sound okay. The walk from my bedroom to the staircase felt longer than it ever had. Every small sound sharpened, the creak of the floor beneath my steps, the distant hum of the refrigerator downstairs, even the rain tapping softly against the windows. I kept the phone pressed tightly to my ear. "Syra, tell me exactly what you see." There was a pause. Then, "The room looks normal." Normal. That word felt wrong. "Then why did you call me?" I asked. Another pause. Longer this time. "Because it doesn't feel normal," she said quietly. I reached the top of the stairs, gripping the railing. "What do you mean?" "I mean," she hesitated, as if choosing her words carefully. "It feels like someone was just here. Not long ago." A chill ran down my spine. I started descending the stairs slowly, step by step. She's right. The voice didn't come from the phone. It came from inside my head. No, worse. It came from memory. "Dad, you don't have to check everything all the time." My son's voice, calm, patient, almost amused. "You act like the house is hiding something from you." I had laughed it off back then. But standing on those stairs in the middle of the night, I wasn't laughing anymore. "I can hear something," Saira said suddenly. I froze. "What kind of sound?" "Like a drawer." My eyes shifted toward the hallway that led to my son's room. It was dark. Too dark. "I didn't open anything," she added quickly. "I swear." "I know," I said. And I did, because deep down, I had already started to understand. I reached the bottom of the stairs. The air felt colder there, heavier. "Saira," I whispered. "I'm outside the hallway." Her breathing quickened. "Don't come in yet," she said suddenly. "Why?" Another sound. Not from her phone. From the house. A soft, deliberate click, like something being closed. My stomach dropped. "Saira," I said, my voice tightening. "Who else has a key to this house?" "No one," she replied immediately. And she was right. No one. Except the realization hit me all at once. Not like a thought. Like a memory snapping into place. The spare key, the one I had given my son years ago. The one he insisted on keeping even after he moved out. "Just in case," he said back then. I had never asked for it back. "Sir," Sarah's voice trembled. I think something moved behind me." I didn't think anymore. I moved, fast. Down the hallway, my footsteps louder than I intended. My heart pounded so hard it drowned out everything else. I reached the door. It was open, just like she said. "Saira," I called, stepping inside. The room was dim, lit only by the faint glow of a bedside lamp. She stood near the center, her back partially turned, phone pressed to her ear. Her eyes met mine, wide, terrified. And then she shook her head, slightly, almost imperceptibly, like she was warning me. "Sir," she said into the phone, even though I was right in front of her. "Don't come closer." My steps slowed. Something wasn't right. Not just the room. Her. I looked around. Everything seemed in place. The bed was made. The desk was organized. Nothing was overturned, nothing broken. And yet, there was a tension in the air, like something invisible had just shifted. "What did you see?" I asked her quietly. She swallowed. I didn't see anything clearly," she said. "But you said—" "I thought I did," she interrupted quickly. Too quickly. My eyes narrowed. "What do you mean you thought you did?" Her grip on the phone tightened. "I panicked," she said. "I shouldn't have called you like this." That didn't make sense. Not after everything she said. Not after that fear in her voice. "Saira," I said, taking a step closer. "Look at me." She hesitated. Then she did. And in that moment, something changed. The fear in her eyes was still there, but behind it, something else. Something I hadn't seen before. Something calculated. "You came back for something," I said slowly. Her expression froze. "Earlier tonight," I continued, "you said you forgot something." "What was it?" She didn't answer. The silence stretched between us. Heavy, uncomfortable. "Tell me the truth," I said. Her eyes flickered toward the desk. Just for a second, but it was enough. I followed her gaze. The drawer. Slightly open. I walked past her, my movements careful now. Measured. Every step felt deliberate. "Saira," I said quietly, "what did you take?" "I didn't take anything," she replied quickly. Too quickly. I reached the drawer. Pulled it open. And for a moment, I didn't understand what I was looking at, because something was missing. Something small, but important. A notebook. My son's notebook. The one he never let anyone touch. The one he always kept locked away, except apparently tonight. I turned back to her slowly. "Where is it?" Her lips parted, but no words came out. "Saira, Her voice broke. But this time, it wasn't fear. It was something else. Something closer to guilt. "I wasn't supposed to find it like this," she whispered. My chest tightened. "Find what?" She shook her head, tears forming now. "I thought it was just cleaning," she said. "Just a job." But then I saw the name inside that notebook and "What name?" I demanded. She looked up at me, and for the first time since I met her, she didn't look like someone cautious, or quiet, or steady. She looked like someone who had been hiding something all along. "My name," she said. The room went silent. Completely. utterly silent. "What are you talking about?" I asked, my voice barely holding. She took a shaky breath. "That notebook," she said, her words slow now, careful. "It doesn't just belong to your son." I felt something inside me begin to unravel. He's been looking for me. The weight of those words pressed down on everything I thought I knew. On my son, on this house, on her. "Since before I ever stepped into this place," she continued. My hands trembled slightly. "Why?" I asked. And that question, that single word, changed the look in her eyes again. Not fear, not guilt. Something deeper. Something unresolved. "Because," she whispered, "he already knew who I was. Before you hired me?" And in that moment, every small detail, every quiet observation, every strange pause and lingering glance snapped together. I stared at her, then at the open drawer, then back at her again. And for the first time that night, I wasn't afraid of the house. I was afraid of the truth.